Hollywood was a busy place when I was making films. I did 39 pictures over a period of 20 years. How about that? And the one thing I always wanted to do was enjoy myself. I like to have fun on the set because when you're having fun, your co-workers and the audience feel that way too. They really do. When I was singing with the bands, I never dreamed I'd become an actress. My gosh, I was a singer. So, one afternoon when my agent asked me to read lines with a young actor from Warner Brothers for a movie called Romance in the High Seas. Afterwards, Michael Curtiz, who's a great director, came over, introduced himself, thanked me, and said I did a good job, which really made me laugh because I thought I was just helping out. But the next day I planned to fly back to New York. But that morning I was awakened very early by a phone call from someone I assumed was my manager, making sure I was up. But a strange voice said, "I'm Jack Carson and I'm calling to tell you that you're going to be in my film." Well, I started laughing because I was sure that my manager had gotten someone in the hotel to play a joke on me. This man, whoever it was, kept insisting he was truly Jack Carson.
How'd you like to play a little scene for me?
Oh, Mr. Carson, you made me the happiest girl in the whole world.
So I finally said, "Well, I hope it's for real." And he said, "It could never be more real."
You do me this favor, I'll give you a part in my new picture. Now.
Oh, Mr. Carson.
That's how my film career started. And in that film, they gave me a beautiful song called It's Magic.
You sigh, the song begins. You speak, and I hear violins. It's magic.
Those years at Warner Brothers were some of the happiest of my life. And I really mean that. Working with a wonderful musical director, Ray Heindorf. He's so marvelous. We rarely had to do more than one take on a song. Early on, one thing I decided not to do was watch the rushes when I was filming. I was afraid I'd start thinking, I'm not doing this right. So I decided to just do my job the best way that I could, mind my own business and let the other folks do theirs. One of my favorite co-stars was Gordon MacRae. Gordy and I did several films together, but I've always been just especially fond of On Moonlight Bay and By the Light of the Silvery Moon. I really felt that those people in the story were my family. I really did. And in 1954, I began shooting what might be the best film I was ever in, Love Me or Leave Me. It's a dramatic story of 1920s singer Ruth Etting. I was delighted to be working again with Jimmy Cagney, too. That was one of the great joys in my life. And when playing a scene with him, the emotions were so powerful and so real.
Have you done one successful thing on your own? Just who do you think you are?
Whoever I am, kiddo, I'm what makes you tick.
I treasure that experience because he was such a generous and professional actor and a great gentleman. One of my favorite experiences was working with Jack Lemmon in It Happened to Jane. And I really regret that we never had the chance to make another film together because I loved working with him. Several years ago, Jack was appearing on a talk show and said, and I feel funny mentioning this because it seems like I'm trying to say, look at me. But he said that I was his favorite actress he ever worked with, and that meant so much to me. One of the 3 films I made with my buddy Rock Hudson was Lover Come Back. We were rivals in the advertising business, and he was always trying to steal my clients in some underhanded way. And Rock was so funny on the set. Oh, and then he used to call me Eunice. He was wild. In the mornings, when we were all being made up and our hair done, he would walk in, and I would hear, "Eunice!" And I'd say, "I'm here." And we would laugh and laugh until we got on the set, and then we'd laugh some more. And then there's Jimmy Garner.
Hi.
He's another one of my favorite leading men. After we made The Thrill of It All, people started telling me that Jimmy and I looked like we were really married in that movie. And that's a compliment. And Jimmy, he really enjoyed playing comedy, and he did it so well. I'm so thankful that I've had the chance to work with so many wonderful people over the years. Oh my goodness, was I blessed. The work was hard, but I loved every minute of it. Who feels overworked when you're doing something that you love? I feel so fortunate and blessed to have been able to entertain so many people. Everything has been truly wonderful for me. For Turner Classic Movies, I'm Doris Day.
Doris Day cruises under a false identity in the hopes of discovering an infidelity, but instead discovers romance on the high seas.